Quick question. How do I find my vertical? Is it just, do I like the taste of it? Do I like the way
Yeah.
it body feels? Like, how do I find my vertical?
Great question. So one thing you can do, we actually have a T quiz on our site, and that T quiz at artist.com, it'll help you sort out what sort of flavor profile. So I'd start with going with a flavor profile and then seeing the biological effects. So if you're like, you know what, I'm a coffee drinker, I love the roasted flavor notes, or let's say you're a wine drinker and you like more the astringent flavor notes. Or if you love fresh pressed juice and wheatgrass and you gravitate more towards the simplicity of linear flavor profiles. So, just based on those, you might gravitate towards one or the other. And I'd say experiment at first. Try a white, try a green from Japan and a green versus China. Try various oolongs, try black teas, and you'll decide, I really like this channel, and you'll continue to dive deeper into it. All true tea comes from one evergreen shrub that we know of as Camellia sinensis. So within that, you have multiple subvarietals. Camellia sinensis sinensis, Camellia sinensis sama, Camellia sinensis cambode, and you have thousands of subvarietals, right? So depending on where it's from and how it's grown and how it's harvested, you can get so many different beautiful flavor profiles from them. But don't be afraid to just experiment and try the different varietals that are out there, and you'll find your vertical. I'm sorry, Japanese green teas, because if you steep it at a lower temperature, like 140 to 160 for about a minute, for high quality Japanese green teas like a Gyokuro or a Kabusecha, like a shade grown green teas, you actually get more EGCGs, more polyphenols and flavonoids out of it. And so, one, I like the astringency. In our culture, in the US culture, we tend to gravitate more towards sweet and salty. The Japanese green teas tend to have more of that puckery astringency to it, but it makes you call for more. It's got there's a effect that tends to happen with high quality Japanese green teas where it just opens everything up in a really deep and meaningful way. For me anyway. Yeah, it's a great question. So over 98% of what you're drinking when it comes to tea is water. So that 2%, what you're looking for are the flavor notes within that 2%, that impact. By the way, it just reminds me, like, when for those that might be listening that are going through a dark moment, just realize that if tea can impact 2% can impact the overall flavor of 98%. Just imagine what little impact you can have on someone's life on a daily basis. The best palate cleanser really is tea, or even just a really good clean source of water. The other thing is, so when you say master blender, master tea blender, like, it feels so weird with those titles, but the thing is that one thing I'd say I'm really good at with tea is I have a weird long flavor and aromatic memory. Like, I remember flavor profiles extremely well.
Wow.
And I think because we have over 120 different teas, being able to, in my mind, go back to the different blends and the different sources, different botanicals, and really see and taste what's going on. So I think that's one thing that's helped me. And through my learnings at the Ayurvedic Institute, it's helped me understand the tongue.
Mm.
So the tongue is your tool, it's your device that helps you understand. One, let's say you eat something spicy. So really, yes, it's a sensation, you might say, it's just for pleasure. The Ayurvedic Institute, they really help me understand that the tongue is like a guitar or like an instrument, right? So the more you use it, the more you tap into it, the more you start to see where it affects your body. So one way to start, as one that loves high flavor profiles, is there's a berry called schizandra berry. And schizandra berry has the taste of salty and sweet and pungent and bitter and astringent all mixed into one. Now, how is
Mm.
that possible? Now, let's say you have oats overnight, right? There's soaked oats overnight. And that's your breakfast in the morning, or ghee, right? Something really unctuous and oily, and you'll taste that schizandra berry after your breakfast, and you might taste spicy. Let's say you had salad for breakfast, that berry might taste sweet, so that berry will balance out whatever you did not have throughout that day. So one way is, like, try a schizandra berry at various points in your day, either before or after a meal, and see what you're picking up. Are you picking up spicy? Are you picking up same berry, but you might be picking up very different flavor profiles, and that's one way of, like, tuning your tongue